Hey BookTube, it's time to wrap up May. I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, and today I want to tell you about all the contemporary romance and one memoir that I read in May. So I'll start off with the memoir. It is Brain on Fire by Susannah Cahalan. I buddy read this with Sylvia at Wish Fulfillment. On audio, it is narrated by Heather Henderson, who does an incredibly good job at doing it. This isn't the kind of book where you need to be immersed in a world. She was a good narrator and not necessarily a voice actor, which is what you need in a book like this that is nonfiction and just pretty much a straight story about something that happened. And in this case, it's Susannah Cahalan's experience with a virus that she contracted, very similar to encephalitis, which began to manifest itself in symptoms that looked like mental illness. And they had to figure out that that's not what it was. It was, in fact, a brain infection. And so it is a great testament to her dogged pursuit of a clear diagnosis, and also her family's commitment to find out what was wrong with her and to get it treated. It's an interesting book, and I loved my conversations with Sylvia because we talked a lot about her experience as a mental health professional and dealing with people that won't always tell you the truth in terms of being a patient and what's wrong with them and that kind of thing, and then why doctors are the way that they are sometimes. Really interesting stuff, and I ended up giving this 4 stars. Thoughtless by S.C. Stevens is book 1 in the Thoughtless series, and this is a new adult contemporary, and it's narrated by Rebekkah Ross. I hated this book. I just didn't like it at all. As always, you know, that's my opinion. Your mileage may vary, but I don't care for Rebekkah Ross as a narrator because I don't think she's a good voice actor. She is a narrator, and you really need a voice actor to bring a story to life like this one. This new adult book had a lot of themes of questionable behavior in terms of morality, and by that I mean cheating. It's not that this happens, it's that it tends to want to go there and builds a love triangle that, yeah, you know, I just don't like it when a book manipulates me to root for the people that are doing the wrong thing. And so it was that, and then I just wasn't that interested. And of course, I didn't like the narration at all, so I ended up going to the ebook, but then I just gave up. And so I ended up not finishing this, and I ended up also only giving it 1 star. I really enjoy sports romances. I don't know what the appeal is there for me, but I just really like reading sports romances. I like that element thrown in. And so I picked up book 2 in the Gamble Brothers series by Lynn, who is Jennifer L. Armentrout. And on audio, it is narrated by Kaleo Griffith. This is the story that I've read before. The plot is your baseball player who is a bad boy, always in trouble, and needs the publicist to pose as his girlfriend in order to convince the public at large that he's really an honorable guy. And of course, then they fall in love. And it's a cute story, and I really thought it was nice to have it narrated by Kaleo Griffith, whom I had not heard before, but was so refreshing as a narrator because the whole thing's done in a guy's voice, which was really nice. I don't think he's the best narrator that I've ever heard, but it was just so refreshing that I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I ended up giving that 3 stars. I have been on the hunt for another Lucky Harbor series. Up here I have all of my Lucky Harbor books by Shalvis, and that's just a series of adult contemporary romance, little beach reads, chick lit, total little, you know, predictable plot, very formulaic stories that just entertain you. They're quick to get through, and they're just like having a little piece of candy. So Elena from Elena Reads Books and I have been on the hunt for another series like Lucky Harbor because we've read them all. So I've been trying out Marie Force as an author, and I picked up book 1 in her Green Mountain series, which was All You Need Is Love. This was narrated by Kate Rudd, and I love Kate Rudd. Can't ever rave enough about Kate Rudd because she's fantastic. Every book she narrates is so good. She's just right at the top of my favorite narrators. So always a pleasure to hear a book that she does. This is all about a little town it's a little resort town called Green Mountain, and a family that runs a general store there. And so there's your basis. You have this town and you have the family. And so you have a little bit of secondary character stuff going on, and then you have your main character who comes in from the outside and has to be there and then falls in love. And so it's a sweet story like that, and I liked it okay. It was not Lucky Harbor. So I thought, well, okay, I like this enough to keep going with the series, but I don't think that it's the right one to replace Lucky Harbor. So I will probably keep going with that. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I really enjoyed it, especially because of Kate Rudd. And so I'll probably pick up the rest in that series. But it introduced me to Marie Force, and I've actually been reading a lot of her in June. So I'll have to tell you all about that when it's time to wrap up June. But suffice it to say that I do like her as an author, and I'm glad I found her. And thanks to Gwen, once again, over at the Gwendolyn Reading Method, who is ruining my life with all of these wonderful authors that she keeps introducing me to. She's not ruining my life. She's enhancing my life, really. But, yeah, she keeps getting me addicted to all these romance books. I guess I should be saying thank you. Thank you, Gwen. And lastly, I picked up the young adult novel, Places No One Knows. This is written by Brenna Yavanoff, and it is narrated from 2 points of view by Carissa Backer and Jesse Bernstein. This is an arc that I received from Penguin Random House Audio, so thank you to them for providing that. And it's a really well-written YA novel about a girl who dreams herself into the life of a boy. The boy's kind of screwed up, has a bad home life, and she has a good home life, and it's an interesting journey for her to basically figure some things out in her life. It's a bit of a coming-of-age story. It's a bit of a you're not what I thought you were kind of a story. It's a sweet romance, and I ended up really enjoying it. The narration was so well done. I have to say that I really did think that these 2 narrators did an excellent job of bringing the book to life. I say that a lot, of course, but I was right there in the story. I didn't get pulled out because of various things that they said or ways that they phrased things or any other problems with it that I had. I really enjoyed it. I did. So I ended up giving it 4 stars. And those are all the books that I read in May that were contemporary, romance, and that one memoir. If you've read any of these, I would love to know your thoughts. So let's talk about that in comments. And that is it for now from me. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.